to fall. I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing. I see snow begin to fall, I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and heart just singing all over the world. Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing all over the
Welcome to another live stream. Let me know if you can hear me, if everything's 5x5. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios, and man, has it been a crazy couple of days. Well, obviously, here in the United States, we celebrated Thanksgiving with my kids and my family, and that was a blast. I had, according to my wife, I had 20 people in my house. It felt like a lot more, but it was amazing. I don't do good in large crowds of people, especially in tight spaces. I don't really have the ability to tune people out, so I hear all the conversations. And so we did chill a bit on the couch. We did watch a little football, and which is kind of a Thanksgiving, obviously, tradition here in the U.S. I don't know if you celebrated any holidays yet, but as you can see, the studio's been holified. And so we got the North Pole up there. We got the trailer, which symbolizes kind of this new era that Shannon and I are in. We purchased a trailer last year, so we got the trailer up there. Then we have the Christmas tree and the red truck. We bought a truck to pull the trailer, but it's not red. And then we have other stuff on the shelf. We got another truck and trailer right there. A new Christmas tree this year. Santa's hat is in the corner. We got lights. The fire is on. I don't know how to make it any more holiday season here in the studio than this. I actually really do love the holidays, and I have great memories. Obviously, I was impacted when I was young as a kid, and my parents did such a great job. So anyway, it's an amazing journey here in the house every season as we crank up the holidays. So, well, there's lots of people in the chat. So let's just do this. Looks like the early bird might have been Grish. Grish always seems to get in here early. Tony popped in early as well. Hank is here in the house, and he put where he's from. So did Tony, and so did Grish. So it's great to see Spokane, Washington, Wilmington, North Carolina, Bluffton, South Carolina. And so pretty incredible to have everybody here with me, and got the dog barking in the background, which is always fun. Let's see. So I did put a poll up there, but I said this: hi, everyone. Hope you're having fun with me tonight. Our home world has gone holiday season. So we are all in to the holidays here. Shannon's decorated the house. We'll give you guys a tour of the house next Tuesday. It may be a video tour. I may not try to do that live. I am broadcasting tonight from the RODECaster Video, my first test. I got an error on YouTube. I'm very thankful that when I rebooted YouTube, I got it to go live again. So I'm glad it's live. Tony says he absolutely loves the holiday and the holiday set. I guess it's the holiday set. So thanks, Tony. I appreciate your feedback. Gris says he sort of already bought my Christmas list. Yeah, so my poll tonight is, do you still have a holiday wish list? And what I meant by that is, like, do you still make a holiday wish list every year and share it with your wife and your family members, however you celebrate the holidays? Obviously, here in the United States, most people are going to celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas. I actually have a kind of sorted adopted daughter. She's really my daughter, even though she's not blood. I didn't have any other relationships with any other people. But Jenny, who discovered recently in a DNA test, never knew who her father was. And Jenny came into our life because we were asked to babysit her when we were very young. Shannon and I are first married, and Jenny's mom is a 911 operator, and she was a single mom. So we pretty much raised Jenny, and she recently did a DNA test and found out that she is Jewish. And I actually got to have her share some of the things that she's learned. She's met her family. And it's really fascinating to me to learn how she's going to be celebrating the holidays. She'll be with us, so she'll have a little Christmas, she'll have a little Hanukkah. So it should be a lot of fun. So the Bennetts have certainly decked the halls. Thank you, Hank. Morning, Keith, lovely music. Yeah, that's actually a track that I licensed so I could play it every holiday season. I think I'm going to add another one before the end of this month. They're about $45. So I couldn't find anything else that I thought was channel worthy. And again, they're not mainline. It's not mainline music. It's stuff that was written so that they could license it. And, so I could use it however I want here on my channel. And it is great to have something like that holiday track to play in the background. You're having too much fun. Keith, so awesome. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Well, that's good to know, Tony. So David says everything's 5x5, and thanks, Dave. I did see that earlier. I was watching to see if anybody was responding to my question earlier in tonight's live stream. Let's see. So Grish makes the Christmas wish list for himself, which is great. And he's already got a bunch of Unify stuff. Yeah, I have Unify here in my house. I need to buy a couple more wall mounts, wireless wall mounts. Everything is wireless as well as wired in my house. And I've got a big, I think it's a 16 channel switch. It's crazy. It's just not my cup of tea. Tony, this is your neck of the woods. So if you have any questions, Grish, I guess, is very well knowledgeable in the area of IT. And then DJ Ware, if he pops in tonight, he is very aware of things like security and all that kind of stuff. So you can check out his channel. You can check out Tony's channel. You can check out Grish. And David says, I love the Xmas vibe in the studio. Thank you. Grish has purchased some Unify cameras. Well, so tonight I've got 2 or 3 things that I want to do tonight. So it's not like it's not just a Q&A, though I do want to have a lot of conversation tonight. I like to really turn holiday season, the month of December. Sometimes I get rocking as we turn the calendar from November, December, but this year just focused on continue to learn the RODECaster Video. I am live streaming tonight from the RODECaster Video. I continue to discover things about that device, and we're going to talk about one of those discoveries. And it raised its stock for me. I own a RODECaster Video. I purchased it with my own money. The only thing that I know of outside of some stuff that I received one thing from Tony. It was an exchange, really cool plaque on my wall, Batman and Robin's gift, and that was in exchange for some stuff that he and I did. And then I've shared before, Joe from Conjoling Technology is also someone who sent me some stuff just out of the blue. Joe sent me some monitors and some stuff he wasn't using in his studio anymore. And I'm surrounded by those monitors. But as far as products, the only thing that I've ever said yes to take in the mail and look at to see if I wanted to do a review, obviously I made it very clear that I'm not going to be required to do a review. Be happy to send the device back if it doesn't work. It doesn't work for my studio. I rarely would even say yes unless it had to do with making my studio situation better, or any one of my clients or my friends that I work with as well. Because the main reason I'm doing this live stream is to help people on YouTube. I saw a advertisement recently from a YouTuber. It's on TV now. It's actually a guy who, he just portrays a dad, and he teaches people online. Maybe you've seen this commercial. I know it's playing here in the United States. I don't know if it's playing in Australia. I don't know if it's playing over in South Carolina or in the Spokane area. But this father is helping people learn how to do things online. So a lot of kids right now are growing up without a dad, and from orphans to people that have lost their family. And so he's taught them how to tie a tie and how to change a tire. And I thought that was really cool. And I do this channel to really help people. So all of the videos here on my channel usually are to do with either something that's my passion in the background, just to share a little bit more about me, or inviting some of my family members on the live stream. I've even had some audio friends. One of my clients, Grace Matus, was in here. She lives locally, and she runs a company that goes and helps elderly people who can't take care of themselves anymore. It's called Priority Home Health. And she helped us with my father-in-law before he passed away. And so I volunteered to help Grace. Then she became a client because there was a lot of needs, and I still work with her monthly. I just monitor her social media, keep an eye on things, and occasionally she hires me to do work. I say all that to say, if I'm going to unbox something on my channel, it's something I bought for me, and I have two little items tonight that we are going to unbox and look at. And then the one item I did, which I have 2 videos here on my channel, and I talked about it in a couple of my live streams, and that's the YoloCam S3, which is a great camera. It is a USB-C camera, but it does have uncompressed video, and you can work with it on your laptop or your Macintosh as a webcam, or you can use it as a camera in one of the 2 USB-C inputs that are you can use for web cameras in the RODECaster Video or the RODECaster Video S. It has one USB-C port where you can bring in a webcam. So we're going to talk about not that tonight. I was just going to say that this channel is about helping people, and I've tried to stay away from any sponsored videos, but I was compelled by a camera that has 4K type quality and can compete with a lot of the DSLRs some of my clients are buying. And though it's a webcam, I have a friend of mine, close friend of mine, just got a picture from him today that his RODECaster Video has arrived. So he bought a RODECaster Video on a Black Friday sale, and he's a friend. He's also been a client, and we're going to set up his RODECaster Video. And so having that camera with me to demonstrate to him how he can get quality from a webcam will be one thing. And then he also ordered, I believe an M50, a Canon M50, and that will help him as well. So this channel is about helping people. So I really want to have a conversation tonight. If you have any questions about the studio, if you have any question about the holidays or the set here, I would be happy to hear it. If you want to share anything with anybody else, like if there's anything on your wish list that you're really hoping to get, and you want to share that tonight in the chat, please do so. Gris says Tony knows a lot about networking. He does Grandstream and other networking stuff. Yeah, so shout out to Tony. Go subscribe if you're watching this live, or if you are watching this delayed after it's recorded on YouTube. Go over, check out Tony's Quick Tech Solutions and learn a lot about networking, but also a lot about storage devices. And just a lot on his channel. He has thousands of subscribers and does an amazing job. And he has a new look in his studio as well. And this is my new look. It'll stay until probably mid to late January. So hopefully you guys won't get bored with this. I have a couple more things that I need to still get taken care of in here. So thanks to your HybridX series, I'm able to utilize mine effectively. It is a critical part of my studio. I don't know anything about it, or didn't know anything about it back in the day, so thanks. Yeah, and Tony did a great video. Tony, why don't you send me that link via email to your HybridX video where you replaced the fan. I made one on my channel, but I'm going to drop Tony's link in the description tonight. And he's been a big help for me, encouragement. So thank you, Tony. Thank you for your feedback tonight. That's really cool. So one of the things I've been kind of struggling with is wrapping my mind around the RODECaster Video. And as I pitch it to clients who are asking me questions, like, you know, what would you recommend? We're going to have 1 or 2 cameras. We want to bring our laptop in. We're thinking about getting a PTZ camera. And again, man, if you are going that direction, just a couple cameras, maybe 2 cameras and your computer, or maybe 3 cameras and your computer, or bringing graphics in, or something like that. Obviously, if you're going to use a hyperdeck and you want to get really high tech, then go Blackmagic Design, use a hyperdeck. But the RODECaster Video can play back videos internally. It can play graphics, it can do overlays, it can do green screen, and I will do a poll here in a little while, and if we get a majority of you wanting to see the green screen features in the RODECaster Video, I have a green screen on the floor here. We'll pull it up later. So where we're going tonight is we're going to unbox a couple things here right away. I do want to get a little bit more feedback. I can see in the poll that 6 people have voted. 83% of you, do you still have a wish list? Say yes. And 17% of you say no. I hope we get some more votes. I hope we get some more people in the live stream tonight. But if not, you can put in the chat if you have a Christmas wish list or you still create one. So Shannon and I are kind of funny. Our Christmas gift already came. We haven't unboxed it yet. It's actually out in the hallway. I think with Shannon's permission, and I'm not sure we'll wait because we're both excited to unbox this thing. But with Shannon's permission, she is going to come on one of my live streams, and we're actually shooting a podcast, a Christmas podcast, for her channel. Even though she hasn't done hardly any podcasts this year, she's going to do a Christmas podcast with her assistant that lives in Idaho now. So that's going to be fun on Monday. So we'll be using the Christmas set in that Christmas podcast. And so it's my job to get everything ready to go in here. So with that said, we're not only going to just unbox those things, I also really want to hear if there's anything that you saw on a Black Friday sale or anything that you're interested in getting, because next Tuesday, I will talk more about what Shannon and I got. It's not a big expensive gift. It's something that we bought together. It's something to go on the entranceway of our house that has to do with the holidays. And I'm pretty excited. And so we'll leave that under wraps until next week. So tune in next week if you want to know more about that. Okay. So David's already voting yes for the green screen. So we'll actually do a poll here in a little bit. We have 6 votes still. 83% of you say yes. Do you still have a holiday wish list? And I said holiday wish list. Obviously, here in my house, we're going to call it a Christmas wish list. So 83% say yes, 17% say no. And Shan and I, you know, we're older now. And so we're more excited these days about giving gifts. In fact, Shannon will say that I have the Christmas bug, and I'll start shopping, or I'll go to local stores, or I'll be peeking around the corners of Walmart, peeking around the corners of Target, looking online, looking at Black Friday sales. We just purchased a bunch of really cool things for our grandkids, and Shannon went and got that handled yesterday. And we absolutely love having our family together because it's just like getting everybody back in the nest. So I always tease Shannon, I go, you only like it when all the chickens are back in the house. So whatever that means, she gets really happy. I like 1 or 2 of my kids over at a time. I like really close up quality time. That's kind of how I roll. And so Shannon and I just went to visit my father and stepmom, which was really cool. My computer just completely blacked out. Have no clue what that means. So lost my chat on the screen, lost my control over the Stream Deck software. Hopefully I'm still live. And no, I'm still live online. But yeah, my computer, the screens all went out. So trying to decide how I could remedy this. I lost all the monitors, including, this is going into sleep mode. Okay. So evidently I have it set to go to sleep. That's totally not like me. So we'll make sure that doesn't happen. So sorry about that distraction. So the channel is about helping people, and got to find this chat now. Where did it go? There it is. Let's get that back over on the monitor here. Cool. So we're going to close this poll. 7 votes, 71% say yes, 29% say no. Okay, so that's ended. Let's do a quick another one. Okay, so I just posted another poll. I've never tried this before. I added another response, but would you like a green screen RODECaster video demo tonight? It's not the best sentence structure, but I already have 2 votes yes. So I have yes, no, and maybe. So if you're on the fence, I gave you an option tonight. So Q&A, if you have any questions. Number 2, We're going to do the unboxing. Number 3, we're going to talk a little bit about a feature that I discovered in the RODECaster video that shocked me. It raised its value again, its stock up. I'm going to put some chapter markers in tonight's video, so you can jump to that part and the different parts, and I'll do that for December, so you can jump around or rewatch it if you have to go out and get something and you missed part of tonight's live stream. I'll put some chapters in there so you guys can consume more of what you guys want to. Thank you, Tony. I'm still live. We're still good to go. Yeah. I did not know I had my computer set to black out, so I'm not going to mess with that tonight. I don't want to lose anything, but so 12 concurrent viewers, 43 views tonight. I don't know exactly what that means. Average view duration so far is 603. I don't even have a clue where we go to see the likes. Oh, there they are, 5 likes. So thank you so much, those of you that hit the like button. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay. So let's take that chat off the air. So again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. As Tony said, hello to Grish and me earlier. We say hello to everyone in tonight's chat. I appreciate you joining me live. In my intro video, I was working at the very end in Adobe Premiere, and I wanted to add a little note to everybody right before we went live. And for some reason, my Adobe kept crashing. I mean, I do have some effects that used every ounce of Adobe's ability, and I dropped a couple of those on the timeline, on the video, or actually on the font, so it could fly in and fly out. It was a caption. But the caption said, live streaming is way more fun with you, and happy holidays. And so I'm just going to say that live, but I wanted that in my intro reel, and I had to just create it and get it going about 15 minutes before we went live, which is as late as I remember ever doing a video at the last second. So because the RODECaster Video has USB-C inputs, I wanted to get some adapters, and because I'm curious about using the USB-C out, because remember, if you have an ATEM Mini, ATEM Mini Pro, ATEM Mini Pro ISO, ATEM Extreme, Extreme ISO, the SDI models, and a lot of the other ones that can stream, they have a USB-C out, and it sends out a video signal, and you can send out of that video signal whatever you would like. And just to look at that here real quick, let's go to a 2-box layout here. And let's see, what do I have here that I can use? Let's get out of this. Where is it? No. A, B, C, D, E. Just looking for a layout here. Okay. Yeah, we'll use this. So that is F. Sorry about that. Sorry about the forever look. Well, it's not happening to you guys. So again, this is the software for setting up scenes, and we are actually going to do a video on creating scenes in the near future, but I'm not going to dive deep into that tonight. Trying to move my mouse over here. Here's the audio folder. And so I could close this. But I'm not going to. If we go into here, Just checking what this reveals. Then you have the outputs. So you have USB A, USB B. So you have two USB, HDMI A, HDMI B. So you have two HDMI outs and then one USB-C out. So I bought this one so that I could switch to HDMI cable. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. This is by Kobalar. Just bought this on Amazon. And so let's grab my little opener. We'll just go ahead and go on the desk here. Check, check. Let me know if you have good audio in the chat, please. I'll try to put this microphone on without making it horribly scratchy for you all. But it looks like I still have audio. Let me check my audio settings here to make sure no other mics are on. Check, check, check. Okay. So on the desk, we're going to open this up. And I'm actually using my YoloCam S3 for the very first time as an overhead camera. I can't zoom it in or zoom it out. I can do presets. That's the disadvantage of a webcam. I can go ahead and pop me in here as well. Let's see. No, I'm just going to stay out of the shot. So let's open this. Again, it is a 60 hertz 4K USB-C to HDMI 2.0 adapter. And this does have really good autofocus ability. So we'll move the keyboard out of the way here for a second. So I can do it right here. So just one thing in here, no instructions or nothing. It's typically like things are on Amazon. And so this is USB-C to HDMI. And I'm going to test this cable possibly tonight. And then I got this one. And this is a 4K USB Type-C to HDMI. And it is 4K 60 hertz. And again, I'm just testing these out. And I will sell one of these to a client if they need an extra monitor. So we'll hold these up side by side so you guys can see the difference here. So this is one of them. USB side. Here's the other one. And the idea check. The idea is to test these. Now, if you want to go the other direction, And I am looking for a good brand. This is the Camlink. Cut back to the other camera. This is the Camlink, and this goes USB-A to HDMI. And so if I want to take a webcam and bring it in one of my regular HDMI ports, like the YoloCam S3, then I can save settings in it and then bring it into the webcam, or I can use one of the USB-C slots. So these go one direction, and so both of these are USB-C to HDMI, and this is USB-C to HDMI, and so basically these should be going the same direction, and I could be wrong. We'll look at what you guys are saying right now in the chat. Audio's good. Let's get rid of this graphic right now. Don't know why the double's up there. D on the screen. Seems so strange seeing your ATEMs sit there. Yeah, they're just dormant. And Tony is saying these guys make decent products, so he's going to give his approval to this. That's a brand. They actually had a paper inside of theirs and a holder. So you got to give them credit for that. Spread the love online. Exactly what Tony just did. So good job, Tony. Right on cue for them. So, so the goal is, this is kind of hokey. Like, it is USB-A, and I can come USB-C from my YoloCam S3. If I wanted to use 2 NDI sources in my RODECaster video, then I don't even need to use the USB-C. But let's say I wanted to have 3 webcams, or a client wanted to have 3 webcams. He could use in a RODECaster video. You have 2 USB-C ports that you can use as webcams. Again, it has to be uncompressed video. What does that mean if you don't know? It just simply means that you can't have a chip inside of it that renders it into a codec, which is basically a compressed video file. That supposedly doesn't work with the RODECaster video. It needs to be a uncompressed, no codec, no compression. It needs to come directly down that USB-C cable. And then you can go into a regular USB-C port adapter. So this would go from a camera into one of those ports. So this could bring a DSLR in to my RODECaster video using one of those ports. I'd have to adapt it down again. So I have to have another adapter. So I've got to go HDMI. Got to go HDMI from a camera to the Camlink, USB-A adapter, again, USB-A to USB-C, and then HDMI, and then you'd go out to the camera, and you could bring this into one of the ports. So I could literally come from a camera and go right into this port right here. And I could go in with the camera. Now I'm using that port right now. I believe that is 4, and I'm using that for an NDI source. So I can't steal it right now, but I just wanted to show you guys that. So I'm gonna leave that unplugged. But what if I want to go to a cable more like this? So I'm on the hunt to replace this with a cable like this. So if you have a resource for this, I want to convert it from HDMI to USB-C. And I don't know that this will go both ways. We could test it, but I don't have an available USB-C port, so I am going to test these. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to come out of the USB-C port and go to a monitor, HDMI monitor, if I need another monitor for a client, especially if they go to the S model, which only has one HDMI out. I'm looking for a solution to use the USB-C port to go to a regular monitor so they could have one that would be a confidence monitor, have the program out, and then the other one could have multiview so they can make adjustments on a multiview monitor. So I'm looking for one of these that goes USB-C to HDMI, and I think this will work fine. Either one of these, and Tony is vouching for these guys, so I'll give you guys an update if it really does pay off. But I do want a replacement. I don't want to have to go to another adapter. I don't want this bulky thing. I really want the meat of things to be on the desk and not put any pressure on my USB-C ports, because this thing really does seem to put a lot of pressure. So you have all of this. You have all of this stuck inside, and it's pretty thick too. So all of this has got to be hanging out of a RODECaster Video or a RODECaster Video S, and I don't like that. I want to replace all of that. And when I'm done, I would love to have a device that looks like this that I could plug in directly. If I want to bring an HDMI camera into a USB-C port, I do need to have a converter, and I don't think these convert the other direction. So I could be wrong, but it wouldn't be the first time. But that's why we unboxed those tonight. I actually have had them for a week. I forgot to unbox them last week when we were together. So they've been in here on hold, and I haven't been able to unbox them. So those two things I'll check. I'll get back to you guys, and I'll let you know. I'm going to keep the boxes in case I need to send it back to Amazon. We are a Prime member, and I will set these down on the chair over here. So the other thing I already bought and unboxed was this Christmas tree right here. And I love this little thing. It's a 3-foot tree. It's got the star, and it has LED lights on it. They even sent some gloves, because I guess you're not supposed to touch the flock that's on there. That's going to be hard because it falls down and it gets all over the table right there. It was on my dining room table. But we unboxed and put that together yesterday, but I didn't unbox that live. But I do want to find a replacement for this. And I don't want one of these with USB-C on the end, even though that would eliminate this. I really want one with a USB-C cable on the end so I can get this away from the RODECaster Video. Okay, so that's the unboxing. Any feedback or comments on those, or if you have any resource, a name of a device, please put it in the chat. Let me catch up with the chat now. Let's see. No other chat. Let's look at the poll. So, would you like a green screen RODECaster Video demo tonight? 6 votes. 83% said yes, and 17% said maybe. That's 6 people. I think that's a majority, right? I'm not sure where that puts me. I don't want to bore the maybe person. I'll have to do the math here. Let's do the math here real quick. Let's go 6. Let's go 6 times. That's one person. So Hey, good to have you, Cyber Gizmo. It's great to have you. I'm trying to remember your first name. It's old age, I'm telling you. It's definitely not Cyber Gizmo, so I apologize. I think it's DJ Ware, but I'm not sure. Help me out, guys, if you know. I feel like putz. Good to have you. I already said hi, I believe. Maybe I didn't. Good to have you. Okay. So let's do this. Let me show you this thing that I figured out. Let's change camera angles here real quick. Let's steal scene G. So I'm going to cut to this scene. Move this out of the way. Going to move this back. We're going to steal scene G, and we're going to change the camera 5 to input 4. We're going to make me smaller, and on the other, where am I going to be looking at here? Way over there. So that's the right side. So let's crop this in. So I'm just dragging with my mouse, and then if I want to round it off, I can just grab the round section right here, hold my mouse down and pull to the right. Then I could tuck myself up here and make it smaller. And then I can take camera 4, and we'll do a more thorough video on this. But what I discovered in the NDI section, you can see, let's switch to this. There we go. In the NDI section right here, let's go back here. Let's try this again. Settings. NDI. So I'm sending a multi-view out of the network. So that means right now, I'm sending the NDI source, which is the multi-view video, out into my network. Here is the thing that I discovered. And oops, let's go back to C. Is it C? What I discovered, I'm really surprised. Maybe you already know this. Maybe David, who has a RODECaster video, already knows this. I don't remember Aaron Parecki ever talking about this, and he's been doing lots of videos on the RODECaster video. I think Tom Buck has done a lot of videos on it. I watched most of all of the videos, but being there's an NDI source, I was working through my brain. How do I use the RODECaster video, get all of the good stuff out of the new firmware update? And again, just so you know, 4 NDI sources can be brought into your RODECaster video. So what I discovered is that's the NDI source. So that means instead of having, and track with me, this blew my mind. It may be something that doesn't blow your mind, but it blew my mind. So you can laugh at me or you can celebrate with me. I don't care. But to show you multi-view in my ATEM, I've always had to come out of one of my two HDMI outs and then go back in. But I don't have to do that with the RODECaster Video. All I have to do is decide where do I want to receive that NDI source. Remember, I can take any one of my 4 HDMI inputs, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I can assign them to those 4 NDI inputs if I wanted to, or 5 and 6, I could assign to those NDI sources. So guess what I did tonight? I have 6 is an NDI source coming in. So there's the multi-view. I don't have to run this cable. I love it. Now, I've had people like Tony and different people, SRT and NDI, I think. Adam Tao was talking to me about it. I mean, everybody's been kind of preaching how exciting the technology is, and I get it. I mean, I understand, have known for years that network cameras send a signal through the network, and then you have a receiver receive it. And you used to just get those cameras into your box, but now you could buy network cameras and access them with software or devices over your network. So my RODECaster Video is sending out a multi-view signal. What if I don't want what you're seeing right now? Well, let's just change it. Let's go into settings. Let's scroll over here to network. I guess now, for some reason, there we go. Network. If I don't want multi-view, and let's see, I know you guys are not seeing this. So let's change to camera 5 real quick. I know it's real tiny, but I'm going to hit the settings menu. I'm going to click on the TV icon there. I'm going to go over to where it says network, tap on network. I have it set for multi-view. I'm going to change that. To program. Now switch back to camera 6, and you're seeing the loop of the program. I don't know why it's looping. For some reason, it doesn't like that. So let me change this back to multi-view. Then we'll change back to 6. So camera 4. So again, up close, you tap right here, tap right there, scroll over till you get to the NDI settings, hit NDI, and you can see I'm on program. And I'm on camera 4 right now in my monitor. So I'm going to change this back to multi-view. So now it's set to multi-view, going to enter it. So now multi-view has come back on my monitor. So I'm going to exit back, hit the home button. And then now I'm going to go back to channel 6. And now you guys are seeing the multi-view. So pretty incredible. In fact, I absolutely blew my mind that is available. So cut back to channel C. So in reality, I don't have to come out of my HDMI output and back in. And that's what I was doing. I was coming out of the HDMI number 2 and going back into the USB-C port by using my Camlink. And because I didn't want to take up one of my 4 HDMI inputs. I wanted one to be camera 1. I wanted one to be camera 2. I wanted the other 2 to be my PC and my laptop, because that's what I'm always showing people when I do Zoom calls. And so I was going to use one of the USB-C inputs to bring in the multi-view. Well, now I don't have to do that. Remember, I can show anybody when I'm in my RODECaster video all the inputs except for multi-view. But now I can send multi-view out the NDI source and bring it back in as an NDI source. And now I can just hot switch to super source. And again, you're going to see the multi-view in camera 4. Oops. What's going on here? 6. Camera 6, if you look, there's multi-view in the bottom right of all the inputs. The top row is my scenes. The second row, you see camera 1, which has nothing in it right now. If I want to bring in my iPhone, I can use this adapter because I already have all my NDI sources set, so I can bring my iPhone in if I need to show anybody anything on my desk. So you can see in that bottom row, the last input is a NDI source coming from the RODECaster video. Hopefully that makes sense. So, and I don't have to use this Camlink any longer, which is really cool to do that. So for me, that's a big, big, big plus. Okay, so this view right here, let me just get back in the chat. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, it feels good to have that right. Where is it? Let's do D on the air. Let's take that off the air. Sorry. What do I got here? Let's fix my chat. So DJ Ware is Cyber Gizmo. That's what I thought. That's his channel. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Thank you for telling me I'm right. That's so cool. Nathan Ricksotz, what camera you use today? I am using my EOS R. I redid the white balance. Last week it was a little off. I apologize. I found that the white balance was whacked, and so I'm set to auto white balance right now. I'm using my Canon EOS R, and right now on this camera, I have my 24 to 70 2.8 aperture lens. It's a fixed aperture, so it'll go all the way. I can have it at 24 mil. It'll be a 2.8 aperture. I can go all the way out to 70 mil and zoom in 70 mil all the way out to 24, all the way in to 70, and it'll still be 2.8. Now, right now, I think I'm set to 5.6 because I want you to see some of the stuff back here. But you can see how the aperture I'm using right now kind of blurs the background. What happens if I change the aperture? Let's play with it. Let's go down to 2.8. Let it focus on my face. Now look at the blur. This is what 2.8 does. It almost makes me look unreal, like I'm on a green screen, but I'm not on a green screen, which we're going to look at here in just a minute. I have my camera set to auto ISO. So right now I am at F11. So now you can see everything very clearly back here because, again, F11 gives you a bigger focus field. 2.8 gives you a very short focus field. So 2.8 you have about from my front nose maybe to the back of my head. But right now you have probably 25, 30 feet. So that's as clear as that star is going to get inside my studio. Let's go back. And my normal settings is 5.6 when I am live with you. So I'm set back to 5.6, and that gives me the blur. Everything's adjusting now. The reason I have auto ISO set is I don't have all these lights on normally when I'm working in here. So obviously I would get a better, crisper picture if I took my light meter out and got exactly the exposure on my face that I wanted and set the aperture for that. What you're getting right now is a basically a reading for most of the room. but I could actually take my little light meter and find out exactly. I'm at 5.6 at 60 frames per second, or 30 frames per second, and I'm shooting at 1/60th of a second. And so if I had my light meter, it would tell me what do I need to have the ISO set at to get perfect exposure of my face, and then I could set the ISO manually. But right now I have it auto, so if I turn the lights off, it'll try to adjust. So see, now it's reading the whole room. Everything behind me looked great until it tried to bring my face back up. That's why it's so important to have good light on you. Now it's going to adjust back down. You saw even the white balance got wacko for a minute. So at your own risk, I just adjusted my white balance and my ISO because they're both set to auto white balance and auto ISO. I don't necessarily recommend that. What I really recommend is use a white card like this. And in my video I just posted on the YoloCam S3, I have a link to this white card. It's gray on one side, so if you were to do a white balance with gray, it's going to give you warmer skin tones. But if you were going to shoot a bride's dress, you want to white balance to white. And then the Canon cameras have a special white balance setting for wedding dresses. It's even ultra white. They call it, I think, bright white. So again, white for normal colors, skin tones, and gray will give you a little warmer tone. Basically, cameras don't know what it's seeing. It's always kind of adjusting based on between gray and white. And so again, what look you're looking for. And I illustrate white balancing with this in that video. So if you want to see me white balance the YoloCam S3, it's in that video that I released about a week ago. And this folds up and goes in this little bag. And that's our show and tell tonight. This is just one of the tools I keep in the studio because when I shoot that podcast, audio and video on Monday with my wife, we will be for sure white balancing. So I will be white balancing my main camera on them, and I'll be using this. It stays right here next to my desk, so I don't have to run look for it. Okay, let's finish in the chat, and then let's look at the green screen. Right now, we have 78% of you out of 9 said, yes, let's mess around with the green screen demo, the RODECaster chroma key in feature. It has a luma key as a chroma key, and it can chroma key blue or green. I don't have a blue screen, but if you want to use blue, you can do it. It's rare that someone has a key built into the device for blue and green, but yet Rode did that. They just added the luma key, which is basically if you make graphics with a black background, then you're going to be able to get a better look. So for instance, this is keyed right now with the luma key. So now I'm bringing these in from OBS. I forget what I set for the background. I'm not sure this is set to black. I think it's set to transparent. And I think I need to go into the settings in Aaron Precky's plugin or somewhere in OBS and fix this to black background. Basically, what a luma key does is give you the ability to cut out the black. But anyway, so we're not going to mess with luma tonight, even though you're seeing luma right there, and I just bring it in and out of the stream. I have a Stream Deck button, so I can turn it on and off, and it's just a key. It's an overlay layer, so I can have it on or I can have it off, and I can only do this with one at a time. So if I go over here and try to put my logo, I have my logo in the scene, but if I try to put my logo on and the chat, watch what happens. I lose. I only have one key. That's the disadvantage of the RODECaster Video. I have to have one or the other on. So the nice thing about this is that I can make scenes to have my logo on and the chat on at the same time. That's a weird thing about the scenes. They have keys built into it, into the scene builder. So you got a key in the scene builder so I can have my logo in every single scene or not in any of my scenes. And then the chat is coming in on channel 4, which is my laptop. no, my PC, and the PC is keyed so that you're only seeing OBS projecting these graphics. And I have a video here on my channel how to do that. So how to display chat on the air, just Google Keith Bennett and chat on the air, and that should pop up. Aaron Parecki has one as well. So if you want to learn how to do that, the same principles apply to the RODECaster Video as they do for the ATEM, because you just have to use a Luma key to bring the chat on and off the air. So chat's on the air. I have my logo, or the chat's off the air now. We'll leave it on here. Okay, so let's go here. YoloBox Extreme can do 6 wireless NDI inputs. Yeah, and I have, I've been reached out to by YoloLiv, and they have offered, their demo season is over, but they've actually offered me to check out the Extreme. Obviously, they're not going to give it to me. They'll loan it to me to let me check it out. They'd like me to do videos on it. I haven't said yes yet because I have plenty of other things on my agenda right now. And if I'm going to take that device in, I'm going to spend weeks playing with it. I would go live with it. So it would be a big, big endeavor if I decided to take the YoloBox Extreme. But I love the features in it. I have nothing but positive things to say about it. We did do kind of a questionnaire a couple weeks ago, and people didn't seem to like the all-in-one device. The fact that you have a little computer and all that stuff, I don't know. You know, you have the monitor there, you can touch screen, you can do all that. It's a self-contained device. I don't like the fact that all of the inputs come in on the top. So, you know, I know Aaron Parecki, I think, built a rack for the Extreme. So the one he has in his studio, he has a rack for it that you can buy from his website, but quite interesting. So that's cool to bring in a multi-view via NDI. Eliminates the hack we do on the ATEMs. Yeah, I totally love that, Tony. Thought it was the YoloCam S3. Saw your S3 video. Looks like a really good webcam. Yeah, I'm still playing with the colors. So Nathan, what you need to know about it is that you can't control it when it's plugged into your RODECaster, or if you have another device that can take a uncompressed or compressed webcam, like I believe the Yolo boxes can, the Yolo Extreme for sure. The RODECaster Video can only take uncompressed webcam, but you have to open it up with your laptop or your Macintosh. You got to get the colors that you like, the zoom that you like, and then you have to save a preset. And that's the preset that you're going to use. So like my downward camera right now, which is this is the Yolo S3. This is a preset. The color, temperature, everything is a preset. You can see how good the focus is. Too close. Back on the desk. So again, so I could set a preset that lets me zoom in closer to the desk if I only wanted to have it zoomed on the RODECaster Video. But what I don't like is no ability to control this when I have it plugged into the RODECaster Video. So now I haven't tried messing with the PTZ controls in the RODECaster Video, so I may be speaking completely out of turn. Let's see, that is in input number 5. So let me go to input 5. Yeah, it's really weird. Can I show you guys this? I can. When I cut to input 5, I don't get on the S3, I don't get any of the PTZ controls. But if I click on this one, the NDI that I'm bringing in, so the RODECaster is sending out an NDI signal, can only send out one, but it can send out an HDMI 1, HDMI 2, a USB-C, that's 3 outputs, plus an NDI output that I can make any one of the cameras or multiview, preview, or program. And I need multiview so I can show it to my clients and demo things and teach how to use this device. So I got to have multiview so I can teach them what to look for and how to use it. So I used to have to loop it out and loop it back in again. So I have PTZ controls now for this device. Says I can enable PTZ, but again, I'm not receiving a PTZ camera. I'm only receiving the NDI output from the RODECaster video. So I'm not going to turn this on because I don't want it to crash. So if that was a PTZ camera coming in and not the YoloCam S3, then I would have some control that I could show you guys live, and I could move that PTZ camera around because you do have PTZ controls built in to the RODECaster Video and the RODECaster Video S. Now, I have never had a PTZ camera. I do have a couple of these Insta360 links with 3 gimbals. I have one Insta360 Link 2, which only has 2 gimbals. It's got a better sensor in it, but it doesn't have the same overhead control. The nice thing about this is I can have it any direction and it stabilizes and levels out, and then you can use it as a camera. So I love these as remote overhead cameras. And I have this one right now. I can show you guys this live right now. Let's change that, turn the key off the air and go to 4. So this is the Insta360 Link 2 on the desk. And I'm bringing this in from my laptop. No, my PC. So I can control this. In fact, I have presets up here that I can go to. And then I could change the camera around. These are presets that I have. I could zoom out and I could create a preset. Now I could go from this look to this look. And then I could make one even closer now and save that. So now I have that, I have that, and I have that. And I also have a little PTZ control that I can control. And I'm not sharing my desktop PC right now, so I can't help you guys. And then I also, by showing you that, so let's fix this view back where it's supposed to be. Let's see, is this one better? Yeah, let's just go out just a touch. There we go. I'm going to save that as a preset. Okay, so now, I know I'm not on the screen, I apologize, but you don't need to see my face. So now let me switch to my Insta360 overhead camera. And I'll bring this on the air. So now you're seeing my other camera. And I can do the same thing with it. I can access it and I can control what it's looking at. There's me. This is what I use for my Sky camera. I can even change the brightness, lighten it up a little bit. I could change the contrast if I wanted to and do all of this live. And I can change these different views in the studio. So that's obviously overexposed. So I could go to manual exposure and I could set the ISO where I wanted it. So if I want it more Christmassy, I could bring the ISO down to 160. And then I can bust around the studio again at 160 ISO. But that's not really bright enough for Batman. So I like to leave it on auto and give it a chance just to adjust. So there's the shelf. Give it a second to adjust. Here is the fire on the TV. Here is my snowman. Batman's over there. Got the truck. You got me. Got a close-up on the tree. So, and I could zoom in on that tree right now. And then go up a little bit. And I can do all that. And that's why I've been using these Insta360 cameras all of this time, because I like to be able to control them, but I'm having to go into my PC. I have the software opened up in my PC, and then I'm using OBS to display it full screen into my RODECaster video, and then I can bring that on the air. Now, if I want to show chat, if I cut to that camera, it's the USB-C camera. So if I turn it off and transition, you can see it's black now. Turn my other camera on, transition. Now you can see that camera. But if I want to have chat on the air, then I have to transition. And now chat is up there. But I don't display chat this way. This is what's coming into channel 4. I use a key to display chat. So we're going to go back to my regular camera, and then I'm going to bring in the chat as a key. And now you have Tony's "You're Still Live" right there. So again, the disadvantage of the YoloCam S3 directly into the RODECaster is I have no control. It's just a webcam. It's one angle, one color, one white balance, one zoom. I can save that preset. I'm hoping that there's somehow that you'll be able, there's no buttons on it, so it's not like I could push a button and change scenes. So for $200, it's a great camera. It's a great webcam. If you want to use it in a zoom on your computer, but to use it as a overhead camera in my studio, it's not quite what I was looking for. But again, it is a great camera. And yes, I'm still alive. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Bennett. Probably it's somewhat dumb question to ask. Does it really matter which camera model to use with a switcher suite like RCV image quality wise? Well, the answer to that question is, and it's a great question. And so no question really is dumb. If you're trying to get the answer to it, this is the right place. So the sensor in the camera, what makes a camera quality is the sensor. So the YoloCam S3 being a webcam, it has a really good sensor. It's a 1/1.3 sensor. Now you're getting into those higher end PTZ cameras, even though there are PTZ cameras out there and security cameras that have bigger chips than that. But you're kind of where the iPhones used to be. In fact, some say there's still phones right now that are using that 1/1/3 chip. If you buy a APS-C sensor, that's even bigger. So that means that it's going to let more light hit the sensor. It's got more definition. It can handle a broader, usually ISO. This S3 will go up to ISO of 12,800, and I cover that in my video. But it won't go any higher than that. Where my Canon EOS R is ridiculously, it'll go, you can double the ISO to go really, really high. So it does good in low light. The higher the ISO goes, the better light it lets in. So you got the sensor, then you got the camera manufacturer, if it's got good quality autofocus, does it have some of those things? And I do like the autofocus on the S3. Oh, sorry. What did I do here? I want to be on. I lost the S3. It's not live right now. What it was? No, that's. I'm so confused. It is live. It's 5. So I like the autofocus on the S3. Let's move this out of the way. Focus on the desk. Focus on me, and you can see I'm playing on my phone. So I like the autofocus. It's got a good size sensor, 1/1.3. So you want to get a good camera. So when you start at that $500-600 price range with a Canon or a Sony or all the other manufacturers, you're going to see that you're going to have a smaller sensor. The other thing to realize is if you have a 16 to like 45 or 16 to 35 millimeter lens, those smaller sensors are what we call cropped. So it might have a 1.6 crop. What does that mean? That means that if you had a 16 mil lens, let's do it this way. If you had a, let's change here real quick. Let's turn my wireless mic on. Let's move this out of my way. So if you had a 16 mil lens, 16 millimeter, and it had a 1.6 crop times 1.6, your 16 millimeter lens just became a 25 millimeter lens. And so if it's 16 to 35, 35 mil times a crop of 1.6 is a 56 mil. So now your 16 to 35 is a 25.6 to 56. So you lost the width. So you're not getting 16 millimeter because you have a crop sensor camera. My camera has a crop of 1. It's a full frame sensor. It's a $1,600 camera, brand new EOS R by Canon. And there's lots of manufacturers that make those. But if I was to do the same adjustment, sorry, turning my mic back on. If I was going to do the same adjustment, all of my cameras in my studio that are my main cameras, I have an EOS R1, EOS R2, and a Canon 5D Mark IV, and I have a Canon 5D Mark III. They're all full frame sensors. So that means they have a crop of 1. Okay, so do the math. A 16 millimeter lens times 1 equals a 16 millimeter lens. So what a lot of people don't realize is that when you buy a Canon, like an M50 or some Canon camera that comes with a lens and it says it's a 16 to 35, it's not going to be a 16 to 35 on a APS-C sensor camera that has a crop. Now what they're doing in some cameras is they'll have a full frame sensor in it, but when you're only doing 1080p video, they'll crop part of that sensor, but you still get the full use of your lenses. So that lens matters, the quality of the lens, the quality of the sensor, and then your lighting in your studio. So to answer your question, you can get if you want to just go live on Zoom or live on YouTube using your laptop or your Macintosh or your PC, whatever it is, you could use a YoloCam S3. You'd have control of the software inside your Mac. It has a great software. You can even change the color. So if you wanted like a retro movie blue filter, you could do all that. Change your white balance, manually adjust your white balance. You can have 4 zooms saved. You can't pick a place on the sensor, but you can zoom in and zoom out and have 4 spots reserved. And you can use your number pad on your keyboard to change those zoom settings, but only when it's plugged in directly into a PC or a laptop. So, okay, enough on that. So the answer to that question is, doesn't matter what camera, just understand that the bigger the sensor, the less lights you're going to need, but you still can't go in your studio and expect to have this kind of background with no light on you. So I have lights back there and I have lights on me so that I can get a good quality picture on me and a good quality picture on what's back there. And you can see if I turn these lights off on my desk, there's not enough light back there to light me up to make me look good on camera. So light matters. The sensor on the camera matters, but if you have some good lights on your desk or a nice big softbox on you, you're going to look great on even a less expensive camera. You're going to look great on a web camera. But remember, most web cameras aren't super big chips. They're real tiny little chips. But a 1/1.3 is a good size chip. It's like what you'd find in a lot of the nice smartphones out there. And the chips in the smartphones are even getting bigger now. So keep that in mind. But a 1/1.3 chip is a 4K sensor. It sends a 4K signal that you could crop in to 1080p. And that's what you're seeing in this shot right here. This is a 1080p clip that you're seeing. So because it's 4K camera, I can crop in and I still would have a 1080p shot. So I can crop all the way in to 1/4 the space of that sensor. So basically, what does that mean? If this was the 4K sensor on that YoloCam S3, I could crop in, let's go over this side, one quadrant right here, and it would still be 1080p live because I'm streaming it 1080p, and that means I could zoom all the way in 4 times and still have a good quality picture. Not sure what that means. Rode promised to add multiple keys to the RCV. Probably that features is not yet delivered. Yeah, again, there are keys built into the scenes. And if you buy the RODECaster Video, you have 7 scenes. If you buy the RODECaster Video S, you can make up to 5 scenes. I believe there's only 5 layers. It was funny on Aaron Precky's live stream on Sunday. He said he doesn't know how many layers there are on the RODECaster video scenes, but I believe there's only 5. So you could have a background and 4 video sources, or you could have a audio track playing in the background, a background and 3 video sources. You could have a video playing as a background and a logo and 3 video sources. But because you can put videos on a scene, you can put graphics on a scene, you can also put audio on a scene, plus you can put camera sources on a scene, there is a limit of 5 sources. That's the same as an ATEM. It has the ability to do a layer of 5. So you can have a background graphic and you can have 4 cameras, and you can actually change the size of those 4 inputs. You can even bring a video in from a hybrid deck as a video input, but the RODECaster has built-in video, and so does the Video S. Even though it does not have a SD card to plug into it, it's got built-in 20 gigabytes of memory built in. The chip is bigger than that, but the storage space is 20 gigabytes in the oh my goodness, the RØDE Video S. Wow, tongue twister. Not everyone is willing to pay for a YoloBox Extreme. Yeah, you know, the price of it is halfway kind of there compared to, what is it on sale right now? Let's look. Where should I look? Let's go to B&H. Yeah, $18.99 on sale right now, $100 off. Need to memorize these scenes. So here it is on sale, $18.99, big Cyber Tuesday sale. No. But so you can also get, for a little bit more than this, you could buy the new G2 by Blackmagic Design. That's an extreme ISO on steroids. It has audio inputs, XLR jacks. It's got a whole new audio engine built into it, different software to control the audio in it. It has the ability to bring graphics in through Thunderbolt, so you can use 2 inputs and 1 output. So you could literally send video out to a computer and have someone editing live. You could also send 2 signals back for key and fill. So the Extreme would be something I would compare to the new ATEM Extreme, which is now shipping. So let's just cut back and I'll bring that up on the screen. We'll go to Sweetwater this time because they're so sweet. So here you go. Here is, go away, guys. Here is the G2. It's got a transition bar, which is really cool. You can transition now. You have these audio buttons up here. You can see now there is some glitches and the ability to control audio, I heard. So just keep that in mind. But this is the device. And again, it's got Thunderbolt. It's $21.95. So compare that to the YoloBox Extreme. Again, this does not allow you to bring in the NDI sources. It's 8 HDMI inputs. I think it has 3 HDMI outputs. One of them you want to use for the new audio screen. Like when you'd buy a old web presenter, HD, which now it's not called that. They changed the name of the web presenters. It had its own HDMI out and its own interface so you could monitor your stream quality. Well, now you have a multi-view screen you're going to want to show. You're also going to want to have another HDMI dedicated to the audio screen, especially if you're going to use the MADI and bring in other audio sources, because with the boxes that Blackmagic sells, 4 microphones per box, you could bring in up to 32 channels of audio. So you could use a G2 to do a giant drama presentation where everybody on the stage has their own wireless microphone, because you have the ability to bring in 32 channels of audio MADI inside the G2, because it has a MADI input. It also has 2 XLR inputs. Here's the back. So you do have a fast, what's going on here? Here's the back. You do have a 10G Ethernet port and 1 gigabyte port. So it's designed to be able to use with a 10G network for transferring files. It's got 3 HDMI outs. It also has a Thunderbolt port you can see there. And then you have 8 HDMI inputs. Here are your XLR inputs. And again, they are 1/4 inch combo and XLR jacks. And then you still have a headphone jack. And then here is your MADI in. So again, with MADI and the new audio interface, it's pretty amazing. So if you look at the specs, you've got 8 HDMI in, 3 video, 26 audio channels, it looks like. I think it has more. So 1080p, 60 frames per second max. It does not do 4K. And you can look at the other specs. I'm not going to dive deep into the G2, but we did a G2 video live about 4 weeks ago, I believe. So again, all of that matters. Would you definitely love to see some YoloBox demonstrations on the channel? Okay, well, I will do some polls coming up in the next few weeks again. So please jump on live, and I would love to get people's input. That would be something that I would be trying to do in January, and I would not ask them to send it unless I was pretty convinced it's something to bring on my channel, which brings up our last topic tonight. But let's do the green screen here real quick. Glad I answered your question about the Insta360 link. Again, the link is not as good a picture as the YOLO S3. The Insta360 Link 2 is close, and it has gimbals. So if you just want a webcam, go with the Insta360 Link 2. If you want one with 3 gimbals that levels out when you're twisting it and turning it, it's a way better desk down camera. So go for the Insta360 Link original version if you want a really good desk down camera. but go for the Insta360 Link 2 if you want a better picture and you're just going to have it level and you want to have it be able to gimbal around. It's a great camera. It's got a better picture than the Insta360 Link. So go for the 2. They took a gimbal out, got a bigger sensor. It uses the exact same software as the Insta360 Link, and you can only have one camera open at a time, but you literally can switch cameras live just by changing cameras in the software. So, okay. Yeah, the YoloBox is easier than the RCV in my opinion. Some features could make a daily show look very sophisticated as well. Yeah, again, I'm not saying that YoloBox Extreme, the reason I asked YoloLiv in the email, what about that device? And they told me they weren't giving out demo versions anymore. I said, well, ask them. You saw my videos. You know I'm very thorough. You know I would live stream from it. You know I would do videos on it if I liked it. Let me know, because I'm not going to buy one, so there's no other way it's going to come into my studio. Now, if I tried it and I really liked it, then I would start negotiating with YoloLiv to keep it, maybe do a whole video series in trade to keep the advice. But at this point, I would have to send it back if I said yes to bring it. So no guarantee that it would be mine at all. So I believe that the full frame cameras paired with the hardware switchers are two pieces that are optional, not an overkill necessity for most of the setups. I'd rather have invested more in lights. Okay, so and that's overlapping my logo, right? Yeah, let's bring that up. Better. Let's lock that. OBS has a lock feature. That's cool. So I just locked that in place. Okay, that's all the questions I have going to ask. Thanks for, yeah. Well, again, I know, but I wanted to do Q&A night tonight. I planned on having a half hour of Q&A in the live stream tonight. We're going to go till 6 o'clock and then I'm going to bail. So let's pull up the green screen and let's play around with that. And then you guys can ask me questions. I'll take you through setting it up in the software from RODECaster Video, and we'll just see what you think. Now, I just want you to realize in the very beginning that this camera that you see right now, once I create it as a green screen chroma key, then I can't cut to this camera shot anymore. I have to put myself over something or put something behind me, and that's what I'm going to walk you through. So I lose this camera input, it'll be like a black box, and my green screen does not cover the whole back of me. So we're going to have to play with positioning it, and I'm going to have to keep my arms in because I'll have to crop the edges. So let's do it. Let me change microphones here real quick. Wireless Go 2 should be on now. It seems like it's a little hot. Don't want to hurt anybody's ears. Check, check, check. I guess it's okay. Okay, so let's get up and get the green screen up. Almost fell into it. That was funny. Almost fell right into the scene. So, okay, looks like I can cheat this way a little bit. Let's see, which way is going to be... I think I like the tree there. Let's just leave it like this. Okay. So, now, let's close a couple things here. Let's change to F. Okay. So what I've done now is I put a green screen behind me, right? So I have a green screen behind me. I can prove it. There's a green screen behind me. And as long as I sit in here, it'll leave the monitor in here and it'll just cut out the green behind me. Now, I don't need this because I'm not going to put my hand over there. I'm going to keep my hands inside that. So this green screen is adequate. You could use it with zoom, but again, it's going to change this camera. Now, right now you see the green screen because I haven't done anything with the key yet. So let's go back in the software. I am plugged into input number 3. So that's the input that I'm going to key. So we're going to go into camera 3. I need to turn the key on. It's right here. I'm going to turn the key on, and I already have selected green screen. Here's blue screen. It's not going to work because it's not a blue screen. Here's green screen. It works. It just turns black. And here's Luma. So Luma doesn't work because that's good for black backgrounds, but it does not look good. So because it's kind of got a built-in key, it looks pretty good. Now, it may not be perfect, and then I have adjustments. You see the adjustments down here. I can change the softness, the shadows. I can mask invert. I can go in the advanced screen. We'll click on that. When you get in the advanced screen, you have key left, key gain, smoothness, similarity, spill reduction, Luma gain, chroma saturation, Luma compensation lift. I mean, it is a thorough key. I'm not going to change all those. That would be a whole video on its own. But again, I now have the key turned on. Camera 1 is now dedicated to this look. If I switch to camera 1, this is what you're going to see. If I reach over here to camera 3 and go back to camera 3, go to the key, and if I switch this key off, now I just have a green screen behind me. Switch that key back on, now I have this look. So we're going to cut back to F. Lost my scene here. Okay, so now that I have this, what do I do with it? Okay, so I need to create a scene where I use it. So let's find a scene here, like right now. Let's go ahead and steal G again. So here I am in G. And I'm in a box, right? I'm just on the screen. I'm in the screen over on the right with black behind me. I'm on the left with black behind me. But this is not what I'm looking to do. I want to have myself transparent with something behind me. So let's go back into 4. And let's drop something in here. So the key is on. All right, you got to drop it right here on this transparent button. So now I have that dropped in. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. Camera 4. What is going on here? Luma. I don't want Luma. I want Chroma. Oh, great. What have I done? Turn this off. No, I need this on. I need this to be transparent. I'm in camera 3. I'm not very smart here. Okay. Let's drop this background into, I wonder what was going on. Let's drop this background right there. Try that again. Okay. Some days I deserve a break. Been on so long, my coffee's cold. Okay, so now let's switch to camera 3. I don't know why I was thinking 4. 4 is my Luma key for chat. Hope I didn't screw that up. But, so here you go. You can see it doesn't go all the way over. So if I wanted to clean this image up, I would have to have a green screen all the way over there, and I'd have to have it, it's almost there. So you can see, I wanted to show you that the monitor can be in the foreground, the little star can be in the foreground, and I could put a video behind me. So I could drag and drop my opening intro. So let's drop my outro. So let's go back to input 4. Let's go to key. So now you can see I have my intro behind, or my outro behind me. So we're not going to leave that. We're going to drop a different background back there. So I can put whatever background I want behind me, right? So that's one option. The other option would to bring me on the air on top of a video layer and just have me cropped out. So let's go transparent now. So now I'm transparent, and let's do this. Let's go into, which one am I going to do here? G, maybe? So let's take away the crazy crop here in G's layout. We'll crop that edge. We'll crop this in a little bit. Let's bring in a camera that's actually live here. What do we got? Should we bring in here? Let's put me in front of 2. And am I still rounded here? Yeah, I'm still rounded. Let's get rid of the rounded corners. So now I have a monitor in my shot. I have a monitor in my shot, but you can see now I'm down here in the corner, and I can put my hands up until the green screen goes, or the box goes away. So I can function inside of here and be on top of this layer. So I can layer this chroma keyed image of me on top of another video. So I don't need this layer up here now. But in the corner, I could just have one layer on this altogether. Now you're seeing my software. So obviously if I pulled this software away, you're not going to see my image. So let's pull it away. We're done building it. And so now you can see I'm right here, and I'm in the bottom part of the frame. Now, if I had this full screen, that box, then you would see me all the way down on the bottom. But this is a layer. So I'm on top of a video layer in this super source kind of layout. But here you go. I'm chroma keyed out and you can see the stuff behind me. I can literally put my hand over top of these fonts, but then I go off the screen and I can't point over here because I've cropped myself because my green screen's too small. But again, the background is transparent. I'm going to play with G here even more. So let's get rid of this layer. And just have this layer. So I can do layouts like this. I don't have to. I can just have a background be a layer. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Oop, that was me. I need that. Let's make this layer full screen. Let's add camera 3 back. So if I don't crop the edges, this is what you get. You see the monitor, you see the hat, you see the little deal, and you'd really want a green screen right behind you with nothing behind you. But I don't have enough room to shove the green screen between me and the monitor. So you can literally just pull in the edges and crop this edge so you're not going to have that issue. So let's crop it a little bit further. So now I'm cropped out. I just need to keep my hands in here. And so, perfect example of green screen. I could even crop in the other side. And if I didn't have that monitor inside the green screen and me, it wouldn't even show on the screen, and either would that little light. So I hope this gives you guys a better idea of how the green screen works. So now if I want to use this camera, I got to turn the green screen off. So I'm going to go to input number 3. I'm going to go up to the key and I'm just going to turn the key off. And then I got to remove the green screen to go back to the image we have. Now let's get some questions before, see if there's any comments. Let's look at these here real quick. Let's try D. Ooh, I still works, but look how bad it looks. So I screwed this key up. So let's fix it real quick here. Stand by. It's channel 4. Let's bring that in a bit, a little darker right there. Okay, so ask them to give you a big discount. Laugh out loud. I agree. They need to give me a big discount. Now, they didn't make any promises, but the contact that I have, the salesperson I talked to, said that they would fight for me if I did a bunch of videos. So obviously, it's up to me to do a good job. Well, green screen eventually worked. Great job. Yeah, again, it's just understanding that once you chroma out this camera image, you don't want the monitor. So just have the green screen behind you. You don't want the little star, right? You want a bigger green screen. Now this is the largest green screen that comes up from the ground that Elgato sells. I'll put a link in the description for Amazon Associates. I appreciate if you use those. You pay the same, whatever the discounted price is right now up until Christmas. But I would get some kickback, and I want to thank you, but I got to disclose that that would happen. I also put a link to the RODECaster Video, RODECaster Video S. There's lots of other sales. There's some other links. I will put links in the description after I test those two USB-Cs to HDMI adapters. So again, lots of fun. Let's see. The chroma key looks pretty decent, better than the local news stations in this area. Yeah, again, and I didn't do any adjusting. It has a lot of quality adjustments. The best adjustments, green screen you're probably ever gonna get, you'd have to buy a box from Blackmagic Design, and they have a number of different levels of them, but that will give you some of the best keys you'll ever get, but you have to have a box for every camera. So you go from your camera to the box does all the keying, high quality. The more expensive boxes can bring in inputs. You could load in foregrounds and backgrounds. It's pretty incredible what you can do with Blackmagic Design. But, and I'll bring, let me do this real quick. So it's called the Ultimate. So they have the Ultimate 12 HD. It's $559. You need one of these for every camera. You wanted to green screen the background out. Again, you can load in graphics inside the device. As you go up the tree, the features go up. So you have the 12 HD Mini. You have the Ultimate 12 HD. It's $1,000. The Ultimate 12 4K. So if you want to do 4K keying, you got to buy one of these. That's $2,800. That's a lot of money. And then the Ultimate 12 8K. So if you want to do some keying and key out 8K, but I'm telling you, you would look at some of the demos online. You can lift your hair. A woman with long hair can lift her hair and just let it go, and it keys it out perfectly. So amazing what those keys can do. Now, one of the biggest reasons that keys look bad is the green screen's too close to you, or you don't have good light on it. Again, I only have one light on the green screen. To get a perfect key, you really want to have lights. Like, the best way to do this would be have a light on the right and left behind me, lighting up the green screen, and have the green screen fill the whole back of the room. So if I was going to use green screen, I would have built Studio B, and I would have put a whole key background around the back. In fact, I have a design that I created that I could have and build and sell, and you could buy a snap-on green screen and a snap-on blue screen, and it would work for both. And I just have not sat down with my brother-in-law yet, who is an engineer, works in carbon fiber designs for planes around the world. He could help me design it. We could actually market it and sell it, but I just don't have time. I have these ideas in my head. I would build one for me if I ever do build another studio, because I don't want a green screen up all the time. So I would want something that would be a complete cyc wall, which is what they call it. So it'd have the floor and it'd have the sidewalls. So you could literally do a whole background behind you and even foreground images. And that's what these devices will do. So if you click on these, they'll tell you what they're capable of doing. And you can see that's a cyc wall. The floor is green, the background's green. You can see they have lights all the way around to light up the green background. So important if you want to have a quality key and a quality green screen. So here is a table. So the table is greened out except for the top. So, and then they're changing the surface on the top. They're adding kind of a layer over it. So you can see the black showing through. So again, if we scroll up and then back down, you can see how they're keying everything out. So there's 4 models, and you can see how good her hair is. It's the best I've seen key out there. Now, Adam Tao actually has one of those in his studio. So if you don't know who Adam is, he's the maker of Mix Effects, the app that works on an iPhone, iPad to control an ATEM. Great software, $49.99 for the Mix Effects, and you can run it on an iPad and control all of your different Blackmagic devices. You can even run a HyperDeck from it. So check that out. Adam also has one of these in his studio. I think he has this small one right here. But anyway, maybe one of these times we'll get Adam here on the channel. And it's got great software to do all the keying. You can also buy this device to do the keying, or you can just do it with the software. But professional keyers are gonna have this in the studio to do all the keying. So lots of different things you can do to get these kind of crystal clear keys. And so I think it's a great idea, and it'd be a lot of fun to have one of those. And for $4.95, it may be something I might add to this camera right here, but I got to figure out a bigger green screen. I need one that's like 2 feet longer, so when I put it up, it will cover all of me in this frame. And right now, I can't cover this whole frame. Enjoyed the stream. Glad I was able to catch one from the beginning to the end. Have a great week. Thank you, Tony. We're going to be wrapping up here in a second. Solution, awesome. I was wondering when you didn't comment. See you later in the second half. Yeah, Tony usually is only here for the second half, but tonight we had Tony from Quick Tech Solutions for most of the whole stream. I think he's already taken off. So that's it. Happy holidays. We're going to be right here in the studio for all the way up until after the holidays. So I will be showing you guys what Shannon and I purchased. The box is in the hallway. That's going to be on next week's live stream. We're going to be doing a podcast in the studio, so I'm going to bring some clips of that in the next couple weeks so you guys can see us in this set doing a podcast, video and audio. We'll talk a little bit about that. That'll be one segment in one of those videos. You're going to get a chance to see all the decorations inside and outside of my house. So that will be an intro video and an outro video coming very soon. Shannon will make an appearance between now and Christmas here. So she will be with me, and stay tuned because I have a little rat buddy named Ratso who's going to make an appearance between now and Christmas as well. So make sure everybody tells Joe from Conjoling Technologies that Ratso's coming very, very soon. Okay, let's do this. Check, check. Check. I will be doing a video, getting started video on the RODECaster Video. So we'll do one on green screen. We'll do one on the NDI. We're going to do one on how to build scenes. We're going to do one on the buttons and what they do. We're going to do one on the software, one on the multiview. A very thorough RODECaster video getting started. Most of it will apply to the RODECaster Video S. I'm hoping to get my hands on one. So I have a couple clients that might end up getting the RODECaster Video S. So when I want to bring that into that series, I hope I will have one in my hot little hands. So I hope you'll tune in with us in the live streams coming up very soon here on the channel. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And let's end our poll. Who would like to see the green screen? We had 13 votes. 62% said yes. 8% of you, probably one person said no. And it looked like a couple people said maybe. So I apologize if you guys feel like I wasted your time tonight in the live stream. So, okay, so we've done some unboxing. We talked about how you can now bring the output NDI into an input source. Here it is right here. This is the multi-view coming in an NDI input, and it's also going out an NDI output. So I could change this to camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, 5 or 6 inputs. I could make it multi-view, preview, or program. And so right now I'm using it to show I can show off multi-view, and I can teach people, including my video series, how you use the multi-view, what all of this stuff means on here. So I could have it back here and point at it, but you can also have it on your screen so you can see it fully. So I love the idea that we figured that out. I hope that little bonus gets out there so more of you realize that you can use one of your NDI inputs. Actually, you can use all 6 inputs and assign NDI to any one of those, or you can just use 5 and 6 on the RODECaster Video, or you can use, I believe it's button 4 or 5 on the RODECaster Video S, because it only has one extra input to bring in a webcam, or you can also use it to bring in a web USB-C microphone like Rode sells, or you could actually use it to bring in a NDI source on that button, or you could use it to bring in a web camera like the YoloCam S3. So, well, that's all I got. It's been a busy day. We decorated. All these decorations happened today. We've done a live stream. We have shared some products, what's coming up. So I hope you guys will tune in a live stream. If you have not hit the like button yet, I would sure appreciate it. If you have anybody to share with, we have 9 likes and only 5 people left on tonight. So people are dropping like flies. Thank you so much. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. We're going to go over to the RODECaster Video. We're going to click on the video icon. Let's take chat off the air. We're going to click on the video button. We're going to set B to roll, and I'm going to say good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you right here in the next video.
I see snow begin to fall. I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing. Every heart just if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells they will be ringing, and every heart just